Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Alpha's Season 2, Episode 7, God and Monsters. This show, Season 2, has been so good. I'm very stressed but very excited to keep watching. Thank you so much, Jessie, for your support and for sponsoring this show, and let's go.
Your friends. We're finished.
I hate this. It's necessary,
Good night.
but it's still awful. Lena's power is terrible. It's used in such a big, concentrated way. But at least she's hating it and not feeling powered by it, or... Oh my god. Has she used it on her too much? Has she used it on her too much? Is addling her brain?
Excuse me, I have to go home.
What happened? They used it too much. Oh dear. This is gonna be a teenage boy from the hospital because he was in the previously. Oh, that is the boy from the hospital, isn't it? Oh, and if he's bullied or hated on, and he has his powerful power.
Cody, don't be a jerk.
Just go with him. Like, no, if you know she has a boyfriend, just leave her to it, and if they break up, maybe approach her. That took a lot of courage on his part. This guy bullying him, there is no need for. High school.
You creep everyone out.
There is no need for this. Oh god.
Stop it.
Is Dr. Rosen not looking into this boy?
You're right. You should go out with Jason.
Cody, stop it. Seriously,
Oh.
Jason's really cool.
Really cool.
Jesus.
To talk to me.
Lisa was being nice to him. And now he's being very creepy. You don't have the right to touch her.
You
No.
really nice tonight.
This is awful. Is Dr. Rosen not giving this boy therapy?
Witnesses say they saw a kid named Jason Miller with them. Said he was acting like the leader. You know him?
Have you not kept an eye on this kid? Or did they think they were?
I don't know anyone named Jason. I'm guessing that's a yes.
Just extremely creepy.
Evidently, his ability has evolved.
Rachel's is evolving too, right? Yeah.
They're emitting an infrasonic field.
Ooh. She's coming for Gary's job.
Barely.
Of course I'm worried about him.
So am I.
You're not.
You said that you would bring him around to our way of thinking and what we're building.
I like that she does still care about him and Cameron, you know. She's not just
Do you understand everything I'm risking for this?
completely on this side. It's just which one will she choose when it comes down to it.
Maybe enough.
Poor boy has a lifelong history of being ostracized due to his ability.
The ampersand.
It induces feelings of discomfort and unease.
Oh.
You don't like being around him without even knowing why.
Well, he's not alone anymore.
Does it excuse the bullying? Because if you don't feel...
Perish to make the Borg a real thing.
I'd give the kid a little bit more slack for, like, even, like, the girl being like, ugh, it's him. Because, and the fact that, but then the fact that one of them was even, like, she tried to be nice to him, even though he clearly felt uneasy. She clearly felt uneasy around him because he just admits that, poor kid. Doesn't mean you should be bullied, because you can feel uneasy around someone and just be pleasant and get the hell away. Which isn't a nice feeling either.
The primadone, phenotone.
What about something other than drugs?
Nina?
Try. Molly, come back. Molly.
Is it going to affect her instead?
Wait.
He still cares about her. They just need to deal with their issues and...
It's not their will.
It's Jason's will. We have to find him.
That gives us more information, some more confirmation, and...
I'm going to ask his teachers if they have any idea where he is.
Jason is our best student. We love Jason.
Show it off. Makes sense.
So if we find him, he'll just do it to us.
Dr. Rosen?
Mm-hmm.
Jason, you remember me? Yeah, you've managed to, well, recover so quickly.
I'm good.
He doesn't want you to take this away. He's not stable.
Excuse me.
At least for now, he's just content to be the king of his school. Wait until he decides to become king of the world.
Jason, I need you to listen to me.
He's right by a police officer with a gun.
That you might be.
You want to take them away?
He wants to help you and them.
Touch them. It's that simple.
Where I'll do it.
Holy fucking shit. Jesus. When he said he'd work, the boy would be what they do. The idea of them together.
No, thank you, Bill. I'll meet you back at the office.
The public nature of
Jesus.
Jason Miller's actions are putting every out. You failed to recognize his instability because you were too busy shutting down August Medical.
Kind of
You neglected his follow-up care.
Kind of true that they did neglect his follow-up care, because I've been asking this all episode. You caused the situation. It does. You were more to blame.
I wouldn't need you to help me save Jason.
Is he doing this out of genuine good faith? Or is he just doing it to try to keep Danny on side?
Danielle was lucky to find that flat on Avenue C.
Ooh.
Such an old building.
She's not being threatened, my love. She's with him.
Yes, it does. Of course it does.
Oh. It's affecting her brain.
My friend, aren't you?
I'm sorry, I don't understand, Senator.
We're done. I need to go home.
And that was
Oof.
Dr. Burton, recorded last night after having...
She did this for Dr. Rosen.
Nina never intended to hurt anyone.
Not her intent. Exactly. Get to work.
Dr. Rosen has to be aware that he crosses lines too, and that does invalidate some of his moral stand. Not to the degree they're saying,
It's always
he's implying.
understand.
Oh god. It's not gonna...
What can I do for you?
She can hear in his voice that it's not him. Yes, supercharged Rachel. I mean, Rachel is everything. Supercharged Rachel is doubly everything.
See how hard all the mines in Jason's collection.
So imagine for Dr. Rosen right now. He's still standing next to this man he's been chasing, that he's been told doesn't exist. I mean, I know he's known he exists, but...
Watch your back. We're coming for you.
I hear Echo, so I know you're indoors.
Gary, ignore all the pings outside.
They are a brilliant team.
Okay, look for some place big and empty, far away from traffic, like a warehouse.
They are such a good team. So dedicated. I love them.
There's 17 dots.
Probably feeling very vulnerable right now, so he'll want to be somewhere safe. Look for
Home,
an
the
infrasonic
school.
field cluster at one of his classmates' addresses. That's where we'll probably find him.
The girl he was hand in hand in. A party where he's the man of the hour.
Why don't you take your clothes off?
Disgusting. Even you know that's wrong. There is no consent here. This is awful. Just because you're a...
Wait, no, stop. I want you to want to do
I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
it. No, you don't.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Good. Tell us to put a top back on.
Jason's in there.
Oh lord. The hive mind will protect their king. Just be like, I love Jason too. No, they'd sense that they weren't really part of it. Alright, you get some minor points for this. For stopping before it went too far. Oh god.
Get into the car now.
I changed my mind. No, I don't want to go.
Oh lord. Trank darts.
They're like ants.
They are like ants.
Oh, it's more.
Good, good. You can knock out the big ant, you'll get the small ants. Oh god. Fucking hell, that could have killed that guy. I mean, it stopped him attacking Gary, and he potentially could have accidentally killed Gary, but... Oh, go, come on. Surely that should have tranquilized them, because their brainwaves should match his brainwaves. They will bang down the doors of the office and everything.
Everyone, this is Stan Parrish.
What's up, Stan?
Jesus Christ.
Better know what he's doing.
I believe we're done here.
You can fuck off now.
Mr. Harkin and Mr. Hicks will
Escort you to
go
prison.
elevator. Good luck.
You killed Anna. You killed a lot of people. And now you're gonna go to jail.
I simply wanted her arrested. The government murdered Anna, and Dr. Rosen did nothing to stop them.
Okay, that's enough.
Gary.
The community, and where Dr. Rosen goes, trouble for Alpha's folks.
Gary, don't listen. Come on.
Gary, it's not as simple as that. And just because he claims to want to help Alphas, he still screws them over whenever he can. He knew what the government would do.
Not open that door, understood?
Oh, fucking hell, I'm
Any
stressed.
circumstances.
I'm very stressed. At least we have surveillance footage of him now that I have to believe is real.
You have to admit we make a great team.
Maybe if you had morals. Is she gonna come to visit and break him out? Is Gary gonna break him out?
Just about anything.
Guys, remember, he can't. Have they been told that he cannot die? Have they been told that? It's pretty vital fucking information. Leave him to it.
Right? First time in my life, I feel like I belong.
I know, but it's
really
not real.
Want to go?
We could maybe try and find a way to
I'll be right there, Lee.
limit his infrared.
I really want to go now.
Jesus Christ.
Secure stairwell.
Easy. Chaos for Stanton Paris to stroll out
I'll
of.
close the glass.
You know, maybe we should have cut your head off. Can you come back from that one? I don't agree with murder, but how many people have you killed?
You're being crushed.
Oh, Lord.
They're gonna kill themselves. All right, let's drop back. Try and buy ourselves some more time.
Can we open the door enough so that they have to slide through one by one?
How's Parrish? Respond.
What did you think when you didn't tell them he can't fucking die?
Get back to the office.
Because it's human nature. You watch someone stab themselves in the neck, especially a prisoner under your care. You want to go and check on them.
Dr. Rosen, something's wrong. What? He said that he'd get me out of here, and then he locked himself in that room.
Oh.
You brought Parrish into your neural link?
He said that he wanted me to, but now something's happening, and I can't stop.
He's
control of your collective.
He's controlling it instead. Fucking hell.
Let me help you.
Oh my god.
Please.
Whoa.
I know, but he's taking them away.
Yeah.
Stanton, you don't have to let him do this.
Don't listen to her, Jason.
You can break the
Oh, you
That's
can.
what we're talking about.
You can set them free, Jason.
I can't.
Yes,
You can. You have
You'll
to.
be alone.
No, we could try and help get rid of the signal. Because no one deserves to be ostracized constantly for something they cannot control. Oh, good. Holy shit. Oh my god, he's seeing plans and what he's doing now. Holy shit. We are on to you now. Did he jump? And how high up are we? Oh, of course he can survive.
Bean counter say we don't need.
Nothing.
I was gonna be like, as if he could jump out of that window. He could literally jump out of that window and then get and walk away. So yeah, you know, you can have that one show.
Rain check. Rain check.
I think for Rachel, seeing Nina be herself again, and then seeing Nina feel this awful about having done something that could have hurt someone with her ability is a big step.
Hell of a couple of days, huh?
Are they gonna realize it was Danny?
Is that a new one of Danny's?
Yeah, she just finished it.
It was in the Stanton memory. He knows who the spy is. And between the two of them, they tell her everything.
Yes, I have.
He knows. Finally. That was an amazing episode. Oh my god. I love that we revisited the kid. I am glad that he A, stopped before going as far as raping a girl, and B, stopped before letting Parrish take over and letting them all die or whatever. And I think, I can't even imagine what it would be like having something about you that just emanates and makes everybody hate you. Everybody feels uncomfortable around you. And especially in a society that seems to, at the schools, have it be, oh, well, if you're weak, you get picked on, but it teaches you lessons, rather than being like, if you bully someone, you get expelled, and then you're going to learn to not do that again, because mummy and daddy aren't going to be too happy about it. Or whatever the correct way of action is. That environment, combined with that, would lead to a severely bullied kid. But the fact that Lisa didn't bully him. She didn't outwardly show how uncomfortable he was making her just by existing. She was nice to him, and she was kind of like, oh, you know, but I do have a boyfriend. So that shows you that the people that were outwardly showing their disgust to him didn't need to do that. I'm sure we all have people that we've come into contact with in our lives who there's something about them that just gives us the ick. Or they look a certain way and we just kind of think, oh, that hairstyle, I fucking hate that hairstyle so much. But unless you're a bitch, or, you know, you're not going to tell that person, and you do not want to outwardly, unless that person is espousing views that are disgusting, then you can be like, fuck you, because of your views, not because of like your looks. You mask it. You don't have to say, my god, I love your hair, when you're thinking, if some of my hair did that, I would die. You know, I could be dramatic about hair right now. But you know, you can be kind to someone without becoming their best friend forever. But obviously it shows that those kids were just being cruel, and by his own parents. I presume with his parents, it's been almost constant his whole life, rather than it being kind of just while they're at school together. It's every second of every day that they have this kid. They hate it, and how much that would mess with him. And for Dr. Rosen, he did mess up here, yeah, again. He did mess up because he didn't give this kid any aftercare or any, how are you doing? Checking in on him, checking how everything's going, and if he's adjusting okay, if the device has affected him at all. He just was like, live your life. And I know that we've talked a lot about, and I've talked a lot about Dr. Rosen and my, you know, less than fond feelings towards him some of the time. I still maintain that overall I support him, and overall I like him, and I think he does want what's best. But I do think he's still very much one of those older white men, one of those characters who thinks his way of seeing the world is 100% right, cannot easily see other people's point of views, or just kind of thinks, well, I'm doing something that's really, really important, so I can't deal with that right now. And misses the smaller details when his job as a therapist, as the kind of leader of this team, the figurehead of this team, is to, you know, notice the details. But yes, maybe that's going to shake him up a bit, although this whole thing with Parrish. Now, he started off with, you know, being like, okay, for Danny, for you, I could do this. As though he didn't already have the mom in a warehouse. As though he wasn't already planning on doing this potentially. Because definitely he wants to try and feel around within this team. Are there any loose links? Because Danny's a good inside person, but she only gets the information that they give her on the phone. If they say, sorry, I'm doing something, I can't even tell you what it is, she doesn't get to find out unless she snoops, and if she's too obvious with her snooping, they will find her out. Now, they found her out anyway, but that's not the point. If he can turn somebody on the team, that is huge. Now, I imagine with the kind of resources he has, he knows Gary's tweeting #AnnaLives. He knows about that, so he was ready to come up against Gary at some point, ready with the, well, I just wanted her arrested, and it was the government that did that, and Dr. Rosen didn't stop them. You know, whereas in that situation, he knew what was happening. He set that up as a trap to kill them, because if they were just arrested, they could turn around and they could say, oh, well, Parrish uses this warehouse, and Parrish is planning on doing this. You know, he wanted them gone, but he wanted his hands clean of it. That's why he did it this way. But someone like Gary, who is reeling from potentially the first real loss in his life, definitely the first loss that he's conscious of. I mean, his father, I don't know whether his father just left, I don't know whether his father died, but regardless, kind of his first in his adult life real loss he's had, especially a senseless one, like someone being shot in the head. I definitely feel like Gary is potentially going to become vulnerable to Parrish's way of thinking. I hope, because Gary is smart enough to see past it, at most Gary could move away from Dr. Rosen, but I am scared that because when you're grieving, you aren't yourself, and it's easier, you're more vulnerable. I'm scared that Gary could fall prey to that. All of them, I'm in general scared about, because especially if there start to be any like outbursts against them, if they get hauled in by the government again and accused of things, it would become so much easier to turn around and be like, well, that's the easy way because they're looking out for me. But at the end of the day, he was willing to murder 2 guards to escape. He's a resourceful man. He could have knocked them out. He could have tied them up. He could have done all sorts, but instead he killed them in order to escape. That is not a man I could ever work with, because it would be like in the real world, LGBT people or people of colour saying, you know, oh, we've been oppressed, understandably, they have horrific abuses against them, the alternative is to kill all straight white people. It would be like, well, no, not even the bad ones should just go to prison. You know, it's just kind of one of those things where, like, sometimes the easiest route might be getting more power than the oppressors and just killing every single person that is even loosely related to that, but that isn't the right answer. And taking that course of action just validates all the people that say, oh, but alphas are monsters because they kill people. So he's got that very backwards way of thinking that a lot of people have. For Parrish, I truly do believe it's all about having power. He wants to be seen as the saviour of the alphas and the chosen few non-alphas that he deems as responsible, as good enough to survive. And he terrifies me, as he should. This whole episode, him working with Dr. Rosen was crazy and terrifying. And I think the best thing to come out of this episode was Dr. Rosen getting a little peek inside his noggin, getting a little look into his head and his thoughts and his plans. He knows he's done something to Skylar. Big piece of information that Dr. Rosen did not have previously. And by done something to, I presume he's like recruited her. I don't mean, maybe he did it against her will. I don't know, but it did seem more like a, hey, you want a good life for your daughter, which is it's a thing that could definitely get you inside, especially after your piece of paradise that you hated but you thought was best for her has just been taken from you. But he's most importantly figured out that Danny is working with him. Danny is the insider. Danny is the person where, now, as much as a father, he wants to believe that they've just got this perfect, wonderful relationship and that she's forgiven him everything and that they're having the best time ever. But of all of them and all of their families, you know, Cameron doesn't talk about parents or siblings or anything, and he's estranged. So I feel like his family, he doesn't really seem to have any friends. Rachel's parents seem unlikely. Nina, again, has no one. Clay's wife, I mean, I'm not Clay. Clay in general and potentially his family, but I also don't think Clay's close enough to the team to have all this information. Bill and his wife. Bill's wife maybe, but again, really, if you go through the whole, Gary's mum is so sick of him being put in danger that she's joined Parrish. I mean, it seems very unlikely. The most likely person, if you look at the family members of the team, is Danny. She started dating Cameron on the team. She's back in his life with minimal resistance. Now that's not to say that estranged fathers and daughters can't find their way back to each other, especially if the one that did the wrong is aware of it and apologising, but it is a messy old road and she is just back to sunshines and rainbows with him. Is there something suspicious there? Yes. And I think she's the one that's been off grid for so long and that she is an alpha who does Stan's and Parrish work with alphas. She's the most obvious person, but also because she's in the blind spot for two members of the team. So this is going to be pretty difficult for Rosen. I think he's going to hate Parrish with even more. He hated him for threatening Danny. Now he's going to be like, you brainwashed my daughter into your extremist cult. Also, is he going to think every single aspect of their rekindling of their father-daughter relationship is a lie? Is he going to think that she still hates me, she's still working against me, she still sees no good in me? This whole thing, this like thing that I'm so thankful for, that she's in my life again, is all a lie. Because it started off as a lie, that is for sure. But we have seen her, when no one is around, appealing to Stanton Parrish that she wants them to work together. So in her mind, I think she's almost surprised at how much she's able to get onto her father's side. Cameron, another woman he loves, is going to betray him. And she knows what Nina did. I think she knows, or at least she knows that did not end well. So this is going to be a huge deal for both of them. Now the best thing to do right now for Dr. Rosen is to act like he doesn't know and give her false information that helps them trip up Parrish. But we will see. This was a fantastic episode. Thank you so much, Jessie, for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.